Hi, everybody. This is Joanna. Hi. Welcome. What a beautiful day. Thank you. We're so lucky. Yay. Happy Friday. And this is a day of the number 4. And I'm also looking at the clock and it's 11:14. So that's beautiful. The Sacred Trinity plus number 4 again. So just know that we're entering into these beautiful portals and these beautiful gates of paradigm shifting and paradigm um, um, restabilization. So that means a shift of consciousness for those that so desire to just surrender into the ride that is consciousness and awakening and ascension. And we're going to have our website up soon before the 15th of December. So we're happy about that. And it will just be a very basic and simple at first until we get, the information transferred from the old website to the new website. And it won't be as as expansive as our first website was, because I had the most ingenious website person that spent so much time, putting all of our illustrations and all of our beautiful stories and our videos. And, we had, a chatting network there, and a teaching network there. So we're going through a transition of refining and purifying how I want to express myself, really rarefying and getting down to the finer details, as Source Creator is confirming with me. How I want to express the light as the Holy Christ, divine feminine vessel that I am, here to explore and express and experience. Thank you, Source Creator. Thank you, Source Creator. I'm so grateful. And being the elevated divine feminine frequency that I choose to be and choose to accept myself as and express myself as, the princess energy that is the Christ. Thank you, Holy Christ consciousness, and all the beings that are working with me. To continue to refine and expand who I am as a consciousness being. So I'm so grateful for all the help and the beings that are helping me refine and clarify who I am in my offering for creation. And so our website will be up soon, and it will be to continue the light programs. It will be to continue the light programs of Ascension. Thank you. They're absolutely wanting to be a part of this offering, and I'm so very grateful. The light programs for Ascension for all of humanity. And that is the essence of my vibration as the Christ consciousness crystalline child, as a part of the divine and sacred family of the heavens, and the mothers and the sisters that are working on many other, thank you, planetary platforms in calling in divine feminine wisdom and many different timelines that we're all working on. And so that's my greatest passion, is rewriting and resolving divine feminine wisdom and bringing it back onto the planet, as so many other beautiful divine feminine light workers and healers, as well as men that are also bringing the divine feminine wisdom forward as well. It's always a balanced experience. And then so our website will offer the private healing sessions. The private healing sessions are not only an intuitive reading based on kind of where you're at right now and the future blocks right now, and anything that you need to work on to release any energetic, physical, mental, emotional, or etheric blocks that you have. And so the teams often show me various Akashic timelines that we bring into the now moment, so that you can understand why things are threading the way that they are, and why you're co-creating and manifesting the way they are, so that you get to the root of where that belief is, that perspective is, and what, not necessarily, you don't have to know what timeline it's connected to, because it doesn't matter, but the block that is right now. And that clears up all of those blocks and all those timelines. And then I provide the intuitive reading with information and wisdoms. Sometimes they give me colors, sometimes they give me sounds for singing and sacred toning, and sometimes they give me herbs to work through and assist in the body healing. And they also provide galactic and celestial information as well. And it's always in the highest and the best benevolency through the Christic programs, and your spirit guides, and all of those energies are with us. And we co-create sacred sounds and sacred intonations and sacred singing. And those are activations that stay and move within your field with your teams as they're working through and massaging through releasing density and releasing negative belief systems and controlling belief systems and those things. And then we're also going to have a global webinar session, through which those that I often offer global webinar sessions will have access to the various classes that I offer in a global webinar. And there will also be the experiences of personal and professional 5D light coaching, which means that as a practice on personal and business, how to bring greater light into the systems that have been created. And that will be a part of our offering as well on how to do so. And then the sacred land activations. Part of many of my passions is to work with Gaia and the consciousness of Gaia and the Elohim, because I do work with grids and I can sense into the energies within the grids, and creating sacred ceremonies and sacred intentions for those that so desire to create a sacred ceremony space within their properties, as well as healing and creating sacred activations within the land for benevolent Christic ceremonies and sacred land information and activation. So we're really, really excited about that. And so that's a part of, of these offerings that that will be going into the new website look, plus many and much more. As I said, I'm refining my frequency to align with my higher self. And in that, I'm really exploring and identifying the gifts that really excite me, and that will change over time, because I come with so many different gifts and so many vast arrays of energetic exploration, excitements. There's so much that I want to explore. This next half of my life will be about being joyful and playful in my Christic body, and feeling safe and honored in this human experience, to know that I'm going to be absolutely supported in my expression and exploration and experience of who I am as the Holy Christ, and the higher self that I am becoming and harmonizing with. And that's, after, 15 years and my whole life working through the various imbalances between the male and female frequencies, and the many imbalances that we all take on, the negative imprints and projections and the societal belief patterns and systems, which we anchor great light, which is what they talked to me today, is that as we're moving through, we're doing so much as a collective and individuals that we often don't even stop to think about how much we've actually cleared and how much we've actually allowed ourselves to become. We don't necessarily see it because we're living in that experience of, time, space, if you will. But when you're waking up every morning and you're creating those intentions that today I will live as my higher self, simple intentions like that shift your consciousness, because our cells are, again, remembering and getting used to living as the highest, most expansive energy that we are. Compassionate, empathetic, divine and joyful and blissful and trusting and honoring and sacred, and all of these beautiful energies that we've never allowed ourselves to be and practice and train. And that's the process of awakening. That's part of, not only the daily self-care and clearing part of it, but it's also now garnering and accessing those energies that you truly want to experience and express and explore. We talked about yesterday that part of our offering today will be about living as the higher self and honoring the oneness. And what does oneness really mean? Because oneness is such a word that's often talked about in through awakening and ascension, but to practice it and to live it and to honor that sacred oneness, and what does it really mean and feel like, and why is it so important? The sacredness and the oneness is that in all moments in our reality, we're more and more entangling as the higher self, seeing, perceiving, experiencing, expressing, exploring the all energies, all beings, all consciousness, all that is God, nature, wildlife, flowers, trees. We're becoming more consciously aware that we are threaded with the all. And in any given moment, we're moving through that perspectives of us from old world, meaning that we're still releasing and healing those energies of minutia of separation. Us versus them, you versus me, light versus dark, systems versus non-systems. I mean, that's the world that we're coming from. We come from a world of polarity and duality. In the awakening process, that's what we heal. We heal so that all rays of these lights are us that make up that whole, and you understand that. So if there's anything within your center self that you're jetting out and emulating as a lack of self, as a lack of trust, as I'm not safe, anything that you emulate out to the world of who you are will be all that you become aware of and awake to, so that you can heal it and release it, moving from limitation and density and control into one that is open and understanding and one within the all. For if we did not have any of those experiences of the polarity and the duality, we wouldn't have been able to move into a state of oneness. It's always been a state of oneness, but from the paradigms that we've come from through belief and through systematic control, they've been perceiving our experience as very separate, and it's not. Everything that we move through in our moment for moment life is oneness. It is oneness. Your consciousness feeling into it and being a part of that experience allows you to become that higher self. through unconditional love, through unconditional acceptance, through unconditional understanding of what is going on, so that you can see where you are, the expansive divine relationship within it. It doesn't matter what is unfolding. It could be a beautiful, magical moment where you're on the grass and you're just adoring a flower. That is the oneness moment, that divine relationship where you see yourself in the crucible of that energy of the all, micro, macro, and all that you are as a soul, the oneness of you, is in that entanglement of source creator and you, in a positive, loving, adoring entanglement, interaction of oneness. You are the one with the breath. You are the one with yourself creating the flower. You're one with Gaia creating it with you. You're one with the elementals and the fairies and the pixies creating it with you. All that God is, all that source is, all that spirit is, creating that experience with you. Based on your desire and your excitement to see the beauty in all things, to know the beauty in all things, to know that source creator and God is in all things. That's the oneness. That's the experience of oneness. Based on where you're vibrating, based on your belief systems, based on your perspective, you are that experience of oneness in any moment. Any moment. There is nothing but oneness. There is nothing but allness. There is nothing but our oneness with source creator. The belief patterns, your vibration, and your perspectives, what the vessel that you are as matter, you are allowing yourself to know that, wow, I'm one with everything. If we're not doing that daily self-care and really feeling into what our unique vibration is, what we are here for, one with your higher self, and you're self-actualizing what your destiny is, what your excited expression and purpose is, who you are as a soulful truth, who you are as a sovereign being, that you get to make your own choices and live in your own unique way. And all of these things that define you as a soul, as living as a soul, as living as the personality perspective that you are, ever changing, ever alchemizing, ever being that vast soul being that you are in oneness with the all. Your experience of your outer reality is obviously, as many have said, and many understand this, there are these awakening terms are becoming kind of cliche, but they're still truth, but to feel into it and be it. That's the difference. Speaking it and being it are two different things. And it's a vibrational surety. You can see those that just speak it and those that live it, there's vibrational differences, and it can be felt and it can be known and it can be seen, and it will be unveiled and uncovered, because the systems that we come from that are just words and verbatim, and they're just kind of like, memorizing the textbook. When you go through a life experience and you're actually needing that energetic wisdom, that awakening of the higher self, the being of the higher self, the living as the higher self, the choosing from the higher self, will be shown and known, right? To live from your higher self is an actualization experience. That's what it means by self-actualization. I can no longer just talk anymore. I got to actually walk the walk. Got to be it, because it's a vibrational difference. Then you begin choosing from that higher self perspective, and that is seeing your reality, being your reality as that higher self perspective. And it's an ever moving increment. It's never ever straight up. It just isn't. The movement of the human exploration is always back and forth and up and down and moving back and forth, because it's the minutia that the soul wants. The soul is moving through various explorations of release and letting go, explorations of calling in and understanding true oneness through the experience of it. No matter what it is that you're facing, there's vibrations and things within your field that your soul has chosen to say, how deeper can I love in oneness? How more can I spread myself out and be the level of understanding and compassion and forgiveness? Because that is the Christic consciousness that everything is being bathed within. The remembrance of our oneness with all creation is the Christ consciousness, the Metatronic sacred geometry. Within that sacred geometry, there are codes, there are harmonics for your unique soul's lessons and blessings. No other soul has the unique destination that you do, vibrationally, harmonically, one with source. It's all unique and specific. These rays are unique and specific to each and every person. How we move about and offer ourselves to creation is that soul blueprint that we've come with. I want to express myself in this way. I want to experience this. I want to experience that. I want to experience, and every phase of your life comes with a new direction of soul exploration. How can I experience myself new? How can I express myself anew? How can I really divinely express and explore and experience myself to the most vast way that I can? That's soul evolution. And as we do so, we begin to see ourselves as that oneness, the allness. All rays are us. We are the center, we are the rays, we are everything in between, micro, macro. The individual nucleus of the cell is held within all that is source. We are the cells of source, micro, macro. It is this back and forth minutia of our awakening, that divine relationship, that we are it. We are the all. The minutia of our daily reality is that ever moment awakening of the higher self and the soul, saying, are you ready to wake yourself up within this moment of oneness? That's what every moment is about. Are you ready to wake up within the oneness and this minutia that God offers, that source offers, that you and your soul offer? And you say, yes, I'm awake now. I'm a conscious creator. I understand that I'm creating my reality. So as I drop down to my higher self, release all else, regardless of what's going on, the chaos, the destruction, the tower moments, whatever's going on outside of you. Call all of your consciousness into your soul self. Your highest counsel is you and source, your higher self, your teams, your guides, the benevolent energies that support and heal and love you, that are directly aligned with your soul's blueprint on what you and the collective are here to experience and express and explore. From this higher state, those deep breaths of consciousness, I choose to live as my higher self. I choose to call all of my consciousness, all of my light, all of my power into the divine sacred heart of I. I am that I am, as my name is. I am the sacred vessel of source creator. I live as my higher self. I express and experience and explore myself as my higher self. What is my highest guidance? What is my highest interpretation? What is my highest feeling? What is my highest excitement and joy in this one moment that the all and my soul are showing me in this beautiful reflection? And then you sit in silence and just receive, and you sit in silence and you become aware of, and you sit in silence, you have all of these codes and all of these energies activated throughout all of you. Remember, the all of you then becomes healed within, because you're connecting with the all of you, not simply the physical body that is disconnected from all that you are as a soul. And in this connection of all that you are as a soul, you call forward those beautiful, loving emanations and rays of wisdom and intelligence and love and benevolence and sacredness and excitement and joy. And do you see how that accelerates? Because you're no longer living as that separated individual that was separate from spirit, separate from source, separate from love, separate from creation, separate from your vastness, separate from majesty, separate from the miracle, separate from this and this and that. I mean, that's all. It's infinite. Your vibration of what you believe to be true about that will define your next experience. Because if you emulate it in a no, that can't be true, that can't be that, I'm not worthy of being with God in that way. And we all have to work through that minutia, because that's the lack of self that every single person on this planet has come to work through. There's not one person not working through lack of self. That's where we've come to heal our planet, and all timelines, all timelines. And that's the minutia. The oneness is yourself in that crucible of divine relationship that fans out everything that you are as a soul. As you do and you get that, you say, I consciously connect with that. Wow. I understand how I created that, how I'm viewing that, how I called myself in to be the higher self perspective, so that I can ask myself to know that I'm worthy of receiving. Because oftentimes some of the cliche statements are not entirely 100% true for every single person in the moment of their ascension and awakening, meaning that you've attracted it because it's a part of you. Well, yes and no, we're a part of the oneness, but there's an infinite number of rays and possibilities and potentiations. Remember, as you ascend and move up in your higher self perspective, you're having a higher vibrational plane of perspective. You can see into and down and across and up and over as to why that experience was called in. And it can be for your ability to receive. Those of us that are living in more and more moments of living as the higher self, living as the higher self, living as the higher self, we get to receive greater light. We get to know that we're a part of the receiving end now. And that's something that's really different, because for 51 years, in my own personal experience, I've played the part of density, moving through the minutia of density, clearing the density, giving, and overgiving, and giving and overgiving, that now I'm at a part where I'm really excited to play. I'm excited to receive now. I'm excited to be a part of great receiving. And that's the part of my journey now. I get to receive now. Not saying that I will always give back, because I understand the equality and I understand the minutia of the universe. What you give out is what you get back. So the more that you give out and live in that integrity of truth, you will receive the miracles and the blessings of source. the minutia of the oneness is saying that, yes, I'm ready to receive now. I'm one with the all things. I know that everything that I've put out is going to come back to me in the benevolence that I've sent it out in the purity of my heart, just to be a part of sharing, just to be a part of consciousness, or however it is that you've created your expression, right? When you express, you experience, it's an output of energy. So are you experiencing things in which way for you to perceive, wow, I'm a part of the all, I'm creating my reality, I'm a part of these source rays. Source wants the highest and the best for me. It's benevolent evolution for every soul. It is always source's gifts, creator's gifts. You have a gift of benevolent exploration and benevolent soulful evolution. How we perceive through the lower mind, which then becomes the higher mind as you harmonize with the higher self, you then have those choices. How am I going to choose to react and behave in this experience? And as Source Creator says, that as living as the higher self and the masters creating more masters, masters inspiring, encouraging more masters, as I'm offering you, how you respond is your deliverance. So are we choosing to respond and react in the oneness that we are all? No matter what's unfolding, how you respond is your deliverance, because it returns back to you, remember? It's always that giving and receiving. How I experience this experience right now. I'm offering my highest excitement in this moment that we're co-creating and caring for one another. I care for you. You're my family. You're my soul tribe. I love you. You're my brothers and my sisters. And I offer this with freedom and liberation of who I am within the process of all that is. I see each and every one of you as these lights and these rays that we sacredly gather and we sacredly commune with the angels and the fairies and all that is the highest consciousness, so that we can feel into the oneness of who we truly are, that we are creating our reality, that we can't blame it on others, and we can't shame and guilt others into changing it for us. No, we are the dominion masters. We are the sovereign masters. We are absolutely in control of everything that we co-create. What allows us for greater evolution as a collective, the leaders, the masters, the teachers, the healers, all of those that lead collectives into higher consciousness. It's about allowing ourselves to fully accept and be aware and allow oneness to be the fullness that Source Creator can and allow. We cannot control oneness. It's a natural flow of breath and understanding and acceptance and forgiveness and compassion, the highest vibrations for evolution. These are vibrations, remember? It's beyond just the words of it. Feel into how it feels to live it, to feel forgiveness. To feel forgiveness, what does it feel like? I have compassion for that person and that animal that's going through pain and suffering. I feel that. Those are the highest vibrations in our universe, and they press each and every one of us out on every thread, every realm, every planet, every experience in this universe. And then this universe, as it's created and linked micro macro to all other universes, and why our universe right now is going through an ascension. It's all linked, it's all related. As we move and clear and we ground great light to the grids, we ground great light for our collective, we ground great light for Gaia, we ground great light for the elementals and all the fairies. That grounding that great light is you being in that great light, knowing that you are one with the all. You let go with compassion and forgiveness. You understand the experience and how those and others behave and live from the experiences through which their perspectives allow them experience themselves as separate and not worthy of, not being one with the rest, if you will, not belonging, if you will. Because underneath every vibrational interaction, there's a reason why, those and people and we all behave the way we do. And it is the healing of oneness. There's not one person that is here by accident, not aligned with their divine soul blueprint that says you're a part of this $7.5 billion collective healing, or 7.5 billion, because it's always been, our experience has always been based on money and, material energies. That's so funny. The 7.5 co-creative healing for our collective, 7.5 billion people come with a unique soul perspective to heal oversouls of oversouls of oversouls of oversouls, all timelines, all realms, all planets, everything within our universe. The collective love oneness, the collective love vibration, the collective light vibration, the collective oneness of all that we are, all bodies, all forms, all experiences, all life, flowers, trees, dolphins, whales, cetaceans, beings that we don't even have names for because their physicality is unlike anything we've ever experienced. All of this is the all. This is who we are. We are one in the all. Our allness and how we experience it and how we respond is our deliverance. Are we responding in ways that is loving and compassionate and kind and understanding and forgiving, while also standing in our truth? Having the highest Christ consciousness energies doesn't mean that we behave in any ways that are, because often The misunderstanding is, and many of us, 10 and 15 years ago, had to work through the minutia that when you become enlightened and you actually get that you're here to create light and be light, there's the minutia that we have to work through, because it's also connected with other timelines. That your light was taken advantage of, that there was infiltration of other energies to control that light, to control the actions of various collectives. And those are minutiae that we're also here clearing and healing, or why we attract the experiences that we do. We might not understand it at the physical level, thank you, Spirit, but we understand it in the way that, yes, that's connected to a timeline at another planet where there was infiltration and there was damage, and the wars of dark and light that we've all come with, threaded at a soul level. The soul of the all source creator, we all come with those energies in our experiences. You might not have had the direct experience with it, but you have outside peripheral experiences, because we're all one. And we've come to a planet of great duality. This planet is so incredibly blessed for us to now bring healing energy into it through our acceptance and our living as one. To know that every single person on this planet, we are one. How may we explore the beauty of oneness? By living it, by saying, I understand what you're going through. I can still set boundaries. I can still set standards for what I want to entangle with. And I want my minutia to look like. And that's what we were going back to earlier, is that in the earlier days, we felt as if the idea, well, I'm a light worker, I'm always got to be positive, and no matter how people act, I just forgive them and carry on. No, that's fine. That's a part of the oneness experience. But part of standing in your Christhood, and part of that self-actualization, part of that renewal of self, is say that, yes, that also means that I absolutely can feel everything and I can sense everything. And these are my set standards and boundaries for how I want my energy to be entangled. My energy is my energy, and it matters a lot to me. My chakras matter to me. My fields matter to me. My bodies matter to me. It matters to me because I'm spirit, and my spirit creates matter. I want my matter to be refined. I want my matter to be beautiful. I want my matter to be purified and not have energies co-creating and entangling that don't feel good, that are not balanced, that are not positive. And so I get to have that choice, because I can feel into it now, and I can set that standard, and I can set that decision, I can set that choice from myself. That still allows me to have that perspective of oneness, though, because I get to choose how I want to move about and co-create in the minutia of all that I am. I'm still accepting and honoring of it all. I've gone through it. I've been the minutia of all densities. I've experienced it vibrationally. And when I can see into timelines, and I can see into potential timelines, and when I can see into these things and feel into them, I can make that course correction. I say, this is where I'm going now. This is what I'm doing now. This is how I'm going to live. This is how I'm going to honor myself as. That's the oneness. You get to be and choose from your honoring of yourself what kind of reality you want to co-create. And being in that conscious awareness allows you to kind of release yourself from fear of control and limitation, and thinking you've got to control all those tower moments. Those tower moments are there is because you weren't consciously aware of what you were creating, right? When you're not awake, you end up creating stuff you've always created. Your soul is going to say, it's time for you to wake up now and create consciously. Create in your state of oneness. Release the limitations. Release the beliefs that kept you separate from everyone else. Release the belief that thought you weren't worthy to create majesty. Release the belief that you thought you were separate from your brothers and your sisters, by judging them, by demeaning them, by damning them, and trying to pull them down, kind of thing. So this is where the acting and the living and the behaving of our oneness is the minutia that we all move through. That's the standing in thy power and say, yeah, I can co-create my experience. When we open and awaken to all of the other lifetimes and all of the other realms that we're experiencing, and this is going to be, a class that we'll have at a later date, but is understanding multidimensional timelines, because so many are awakening, and everyone's unique perspective of it is different. We are vibrational beings, and every moment we are a vibrational being. We're a being, the sending and the receivers, of energy and vibration. The core of who we are, that divine sacred heart, that pillar of light, your alignment with your soul, your alignment with spirit, your alignment with source, will allow you to constantly co-create in a conscious, aware way, so that you are co-creating a reality that feels good, releasing all the fear and releasing all of the outdated, old world, scary movie tactics about, dark and light and, space wars and all of those things that just perpetuate fear. It's all neutral. It's all source. We're all connected and linked to it all of us. We're all connected to it all. We're connected to the dark wars. We're connected to the light wars. We're connected to everything. We're connected to it all. Every moment that you move through life, you are healing those minutiae, all timelines right now. As you awaken to all of your allness, you start seeing all these light rays. You start becoming aware of, depending on your soul's blueprint again, and this is where we say this is kind of an advanced topic. As you awaken to all the light that you are, and you sense and you're awakening all of your telepathic energies, you will sometimes feel into your daily minutia of who's in front of you as energetic references to those other timelines that you are here healing. And why sometimes those energetic experiences and those physical experiences seem so tangible and seem so vibrationally charged, if you will, because sometimes those people that you see in front of you are connected with other timelines, and sometimes those other timelines are again steeped with 3 and 4 and 5 and 8, 10 timelines where there was such imbalance of control and darkness. And that's why sometimes those energy relationships are so charged. And I'm saying this because I can see and sense other timelines, and I'm explaining it in a way that hopefully will make enough sense on why sometimes those in front of you are so energetically charged, and you get so energetically riled and triggered, if you will. The words that we say are triggering, but I want to release those and have them be more honoring of our oneness. We're healing our oneness. Because in those 5 and 6 and 10 timelines where you're both playing your roles and switching them back and forth for your own soul's growth, because remember, who we are as soul and spirit is eternal and infinite. The games are infinite. They're infinite games. We each switch the roles through which we play for one another. One timeline, you're going to play the healer and the light worker. The next timeline, you're going to play the one that is the antagonist, the one that stirs things up. It's a switching back and forth so that your soul can gain the highest perspective and the highest minutia for the growth that is needed for the all. In whatever collective, whatever vibration, whatever planet, whatever body, whatever form that you're signed into. Every soul has a unique divine plan. So you're constantly playing the minutia with one another. Some of those in your experience come as those energetically charged experiences, so that you begin to heal those deeply all wounds, remember those psyche all wounds. And yes, some of them are directly related to the inner child and the childhood in this life. That's why, again, when I've said in a infinite number of offerings we had, it's an elegant design of vibration. It's a dance. You think that you're healing just this one instance where someone was mean to you and you forgave them and you went into a healing and you understood that. But that one moment is connected with an infinite number of timelines and experiences, many of them including that same person, because they're the ones that have that deepest soul connection with you that keep triggering you and you triggering them for your soul growth. It's not to, it's not to make one another angry. It's not to piss one another off. That's the ego saying I'm separate from you. No, we're all one. Right now, it's about me going into my unconditional love and acceptance and understanding for who you are and what you're going through. And I offer you love and compassion. But these are my new standards now because my soul is growing. And I choose to engage and partake and behave in a way that's more in alignment with the integrity and the value of who I am as source. You stating those boundaries, you standing in your power, you standing in your truth, you creating that activation of that new timeline vibration. Remember, those templates and grids are based on every time that you choose to stand in your power as light and speak your truth as light. As you do, you're setting out that new template vibrationally. That person then has to either say, okay, well, I'm going to play the same game and I'm going to go find new people to play with because I'm not done with this game yet. That's fine. There's no judgment. It's all required, all needed, because their soul is still working that stuff out. And that soul will still find other people to play the minutia and that triggering experience, until their higher self awakens and say, okay, I'm done with this lesson now. I'm done with it. I've learned it. I've learned the divine relationship. I've offered it with appreciation and gratitude. I call in the wisdom, or they can choose to awaken in their time and say, okay, I really want to see what this whole oneness consciousness is all about. I really want to feel the goodness of unconditional love and appreciation. I want to stand in my power now. And then that action, that new template in co-creation for you moving in it, you following it, you being that level of oneness, allows them to also step into a level of their unique oneness. And these all souls plans move in the minutia of back and forth through the infinity. Every single one of us at varying levels and layers of dimensional harmonic frequencies based on where that core frequency is at. And each core vibration under the consciousness awakening, the more that you're awake, the more that you're aware of, the more that you want to press out and explore and express and co-create that divine discontent we were talking about. And that can only be served and received in that flowing infinite experience is within. Nothing outside of you can do it. Your soul from within calls out those experiences, calls it into you. That's why you're so vibrationally charged. And when you have those experiences where you're calling in those other vibrationally charged beings that also want to co-create that level, it's all done at the highest levels. All at the highest levels. The very highest levels, those experiences and those networks to create those new systems and templates, they're all called in at the highest level through source, through your teams, through your soul, through the highest teams and guides. Because again, we're healing a globe, we're healing the potentiation of human collectivity, oneness. And it's calling other sacred geometry pieces and places and gatherings together so that it can create that greater light, that greater sacred geometry. It's the divine plan of greater oneness. So feel into the oneness and why you are calling in what you're calling in and experiencing what you're experiencing it. Feel into the sacred heart of who you are as source creator, calling it in because your soul wanted to experience it on some infinite level of where your consciousness level is at in that one moment. Are you seeing it that everybody is a unique brother and sister to you, a sacred child to you? You are the mother, you are the father, you are the sacred child. All are your family. And how your awakenedness, how your oneness, how your soul is now saying, okay, I want to deepen myself into, I've given myself an excitement soul growth manifestation today. And we've created that soul growth checklist that we offered on our Facebook. Give yourself, at the beginning of every week, give yourself a few tips on all that you are as a multidimensional being, physically, mentally, emotionally, etherically. Give yourself a few tips and excitements that you want to explore that week and express and experience for yourself as a soul. I'm becoming more awake and aware that I'm one. What does oneness mean for me this week? And then on each one of your sections, mark down excitements for you to explore oneness. How does it feel vibrationally? How do I feel in speaking about oneness? How do I want to create oneness in gathering at mealtime? How can we all work together in this? That allows you to start stretching out and releasing the old world reality and patterns of what was. And that's when you start shifting your vibration into a new template reality where all of your energy and focus starts to get excited about what you are creating for you. And that's why we created that checklist, because oftentimes, and what so many people experience is that the same old cycles, the same old. It's because they don't know how to shift their energy, their focus, their attention and intention into something new. So that they do start creating through purpose. They do start creating through conscious awareness, through conscious intention. My vibration is oneness this week. This week I will be in my oneness. This week I will speak in oneness. This week I will see all things as one. I live in the oneness of who I am as a Christic being. I live in the oneness of speaking as the Holy Christ, as speaking and liberating my voice chakra. That all that I am as a multidimensional being, I am one. I am sensing, I am feeling, I am creating, I'm sending, I'm receiving as a vessel of oneness. I am love. I'm connected with the trees, I'm connected with the air and connected with the clouds, I'm connected with everything. I choose to live as this oneness. There is releasing all fear because I'm one with it all. I can have my beliefs and stand strong within them. You can have your beliefs and stand strong within them. I release all fear that says we have to agree. We don't, not at all. How boring would that be? No, it's okay that we each carry our unique soul plan. It's okay that we each carry our uniqueness of how we're going to want to jet out, create new as source. It's okay. It's meant to be. The honoring, the respecting of that oneness, that's where the challenges come, because we're living and releasing the old world experiences that was us versus them, win versus lose, the infinite and eon timelines of dark and light wars. And that's what we're healing. There are no more dark and light wars. Those were illusions. They're illusions. It's all source where each and every one of us vibrate. Our opinions, our belief systems, our perspectives, how we value and love ourselves with source, our reconnection with source, our reconnection with source, our reconnection with spirit, our reconnection as the God I am presence, our soul, our higher self, everything that we renew ourselves back to center will be how we co-create. Make no mistake about that. And if everybody's moving through this, so it's just a part of the awakening process. The more awake and aware you are, the more that you allow yourself to align to center through heart-spaced and heart-centered living. That's how you actually feel into the vibrations of oneness. Yes, I feel where you're coming from. I absolutely feel. How may I help and how may I assist? And then aligning with your boundaries. This is how I am feeling in my moment right now, and where I'm coming from, and how our our experiences have been, this is how I'm feeling I'm able to reach out to you and offer to you. And I set my standards in this way so that you're maintaining your integrity. You're maintaining what's right and good, feels good for you, not giving into and giving your power away like we've always done in that state of us versus them and all of these energetic, frequencies, because we've never been taught how to stand in our power. No, I'm standing in my power. I'm honoring you and I'm feeling, compassionate to where you're at right now. And this is how I choose to be of service. Because there will be a point in time where you are pulling back and you're allowing others to be the fishermen of their own reality. The only way for them to know that is for them to experience all aspects of what they've co-created. Co-creating the successes, co-creating the darkness, co-creating the tower moments. Every person has to move through each facet of their co-creative reality and be accountable for it. And no one can fix it for anybody. We have to feel every stage of that process. So we wake up consciously and say, wow, that happened because I did this. That happened because I sent out those types of energy. That happened because of this. That happened because of that. If you're not aware of that, you never know how to move into mastery. You just keep co-creating those cycles of, sameness. And when we step up to new levels of our oneness with source, we're going to be given a new vibrational platform, new vibrational potentials, new vibrational experiences, because you've taken all your lessons, you've learned it. You're now consciously aware. Now I choose to consciously co-create in a way that there is no us versus them. It's all. There is no vibrations of I'm going to overgive to you and give all my power away so that I'm feeling left depleted, I'm being taken advantage of, I'm being stolen from. Whatever it might be, the story is for you to stand in your truth and say, no, this is how much I'm able and willing to give. And I feel quite happy and good and confident in myself because this is how I choose to move in my sacredness of me. And that is the rebalancing that's going on right now in our entire collective. Systems that have taken too much, systems that have been over controlling, systems that have been in that win versus, win losing versus, and that's all the rebalancing that's going on right now. These systems are done. The ego systems are done. They're done. There has to be a rebalancing. And every single person is also that micro macro, the, karma, if you will, positive or negative. What have you put out? Those tower moments are those moments that say, okay, what have we been building this on? It hasn't been on integrity. Integrity is truth, light, ownership, honoring, sacredness, respect. So if it's not built on that, it will come down. And it's meant to. I mean, who wants to continue that? I've experienced it. It's not okay. It's not okay. I choose to level up now and I choose to create this now. My integrity level is here. My integrity level is here, but I didn't have that level of self-awareness and strength to say, you can't do that anymore. That's not okay. It's not okay. My strength and my integrity is here now. And so you go through the minutia of your oneness until you are ready to step up and say, okay, I've released it. I've let it go. I'm healing those aspects because I know they're connected with all other worlds. I know that these people that are really charged because they're connected to all of the timelines, and they're even more pressing you out so you can reach higher and say, no, this is my truth. And I stand in this for the divine feminine collective that I'm here to represent, for the divine sacred children that I'm here to represent. And this is my new truth now. This is a vibration that I choose to be right now. And my reality will align itself around this vibration. That's my oneness right now. And that level of oneness calls in all of those other oneness particles that want to create that vibrational level. And that's where you get to stand in your integrity. You get to stand in your highest truth. You get to co-create your reality from your truth, your oneness with source. Because you understand that I'm creating this so that I can say, what's my now new choice? Why am I seeing this in my oneness? What energy of who I am as the Christic being that I want to create in my sense of self so that I'm clearing out all my chakras from past density of giving my power away, of allowing things to just occur because it was just easier for others and you wanted to just not ruffle the feathers and, not want to bring discordance, to the foreground to be healed. No, it's time to have that all shaken up. Shake it all up, shake it all up. However you're comfortable, of course. Some people just want to keep it under the rug, and that's okay too. But I'm expressing the experience of oneness. It's a vibrational experience, and you'll constantly want to level yourself up. And in that leveling up, you're going to call others in. Every experience that you experience without judgment, being non-judgmental, non-demeaning, non-separative, because when you judge, you're separating yourself from what it is you've created. Allow that to be the oneness of it and say, okay, this is the experience that in my heart right now, my higher self is guiding me. Stand in your power and allow your truths to be known. That is your truth for why you've created that experience. That's why we said earlier, there's an infinite number of reasons and why your soul wants you to look at. The more awake you are, you can see the infinite number of threads through which your soul is garnering that experience of oneness. Does that make sense? So they're just showing me that the more of light you are, like how I'm able to see different timelines and how it's connected and how the vibrational threads that it's connected to in the bodies for healing, physical, mental, emotional, etheric, as well as organs, as well as cells and so on. The more awake and aware you are as light, you are able to see and feel immediately, simultaneously, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. This is how amazing and incredible it is. This is what I get so excited about. This is just a beautiful elegance of the source. I get so excited about this. Every single awake nowness, allness, oneness that you are, you get to feel and sense the ping, 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 and the fanning out of that click. It just clicked. I just get it. I get it. That's that moment where you go, whoa, I'm more than I was a moment ago. I get it. And why you each co-create those really highly charged experiences, because that's what both of your souls need to say, enough is enough. The games are over. I'm done. I'm out. And that's where those souls help one another move forward and move higher and move out. You know, and the next part of the healing is clearing all that you are from all of those timelines and those energies where those games were played, because those energies are still in your multidimensional systems and need to be cleared. Otherwise, you're continuing that co-creative experience of, you know, of those energetic games, and they can continue to co-create in a subtle way. Those are those subtle energies that need to be cleared. That's why every morning, this is who I am now. I'm returning to me. I'm returning to my higher self. I'm returning to the truth of who I am. You're reclaiming your strength and ever building it, ever renewing your soul self, and you're pressing out again. Otherwise, yes, those energies do go create in those subtle energies, and you get pulled back into those experiences that you've done. You've learned your lesson. The karmic story is done. So the moment that you understand that karmic story and what's going on at a multidimensional level for your oneness, for your pressing out anew, you absolutely know that the story is done. And you can choose in that moment to offer it to source in loving, benevolent, honoring ways that honors everybody involved for the highest resolution, for the highest benevolence for all. Because your soul has said, I'm ready. I want to live in a new frequency of oneness. That's positive, that's loving, that's encouraging, that's empowering. And that is the Holy Christ 5D living, where I choose to live and learn through love now. I want to have these experiences come to me through loving experiences, not through ones that demean and pull and break down and harm others. Because any type of control game is harmful. It's harmful at a multidimensional level. It's damaging. Whether it's through lying, manipulating, stealing, taking, any of those energies where you think you are not enough, where you think you don't have enough, where you think you have to take from others, any type of control through the fear of not having enough, not being enough, being lack of self, not being one with source, they're damaging. And at some point, each and every person will move through their minutia, because it's linked to an infinite number of timelines where the soul of you, remember, you're living as the higher self now. That's what 5D Ascension is. You will live as your higher self. Your higher self sees everything and lives through everything as love. You won't want to play those games anymore. They're not intriguing. There's nothing about it that is intriguing. And as a very old soul, I can say that because I've experienced it on an infinite number of multidimensional levels. And my soul has gone through infinite number of ceremonies to create this new paradigm shift that I'm moving into. I'm done. You know, I'm done. The karmic games for me are done. And I'm moving into an experience where it's going to be loving now. It's going to be loving. And I've healed enough timelines where, you know, I'm moving into something new. And I'm so excited because I get to experience the love of everything that I've been teaching and offering, and know that I have within me. It's being activated all the time in my DNA, the Christic water body, so that I fully get to self-actualize into a new version of my oneness. Because that oneness comes with a new platform. It comes with a new field. It comes with a new, you know, new explorations with new teams and new soul tribe and new Gaia experiences and new teams with the heavens. Because every time you press out, by your conscious creation, remember, it's you. You get to choose. You get to choose it all. No one, I'm clearing. No one has direction over your soul's path. No one. This is where all of those energies that so many of us are healing, especially old souls, especially those of us that have come to play a part in the collective experience. Those of us that have been involved in various universal experiences, we've come to heal many of those wounds, and they're not pretty. You know, they're not pretty. And that's why it takes, you know, those resilient souls to move through such dramatic life experiences, especially for someone that can see and feel it and sense it on a multidimensional level. And I really have to, what I've been practicing over the past 5 years is to really align myself so that I am not being pulled into those threads of experience, that I can see it from a peripheral. And this is where understanding energy and understanding the vastness of what you're co-creating is really important, because you don't want to be vibrationally experiencing those experiences. You're here to heal it. And that's where your teams and your higher self and your soul, when you trust them and you honor them in what they're giving you and how they're giving it to you and the divine timing they're giving it to you, that you understand why you've been given what you've been given. Not to thread yourself within it. We wouldn't want to do that. It's again, you're given that vision and that glimpse for a reason, so that you can honor it in this now moment as to why you're healing what you're healing. And you can understand it from a multidimensional perspective and see the level of oneness and the level of love and the level of benevolence and the elegant system that is all life that Source is creating for us, so that we can bring ourselves up to higher consciousness and understand that those games are a part of the minutiae, and how we move beyond them is our inner strength of becoming our soul vastness and healing it for all aspects of all that we are. Thank you, Spirit. We're healing the all that we are. This body is creating these experiences, but they thread vibrationally to an infinite number of vibrations. And they're reminding me to say that, as I learned in my experiences, because I used to get all caught up in, I was so confused at times, like, why am I seeing this? Why is this coming to me? And they were slowly giving me glimpses, and my teams are offering me the slow adjustments to how expansive the third eye and the vibrational readings are. I used to get so caught up in why I was seeing certain things from other timelines and why I would be getting, triggers and all of these experiences. And they were just saying, thread yourself back to now and ground now. There's a multidimensional story within it. Just allow it to unfold in your readiness. When you're asking and pressing, you're causing resistance. That vision and that glimpse, that dream, whatever that expression of that informational packet is, it will feed to you in divine timing, and your teams and your souls and everything that you are connected with as Source Creator will absolutely ensure that you're getting what you need when you need it. You can still ask for, and you can still say, I'm really excited to do this day, I'm really excited to do that too. Yes, of course, be the excited driver of who you are in your creative story, in your exploration, expression, and experience of who you are as Source. But you don't have to, like we said yesterday, you don't have to keep pressing for that next phase, because you're going to miss what the story is really all about in this now moment. To know that you're one with the all, just sit back and relax and be one. Allow yourself to stand in your truth. Know that you have that power to stand in your truth, to have compassion, to have direction, to help others, but also stand in your power and say, I choose to pull back on what I'm giving and who I'm giving and how I'm giving. And I get to play that part now. I get to allow myself, how much is too much? When can I pull back? How can I allow others to be their sacred master and fish for themselves? To know that every part of their reality, they are creating. And that's where the greatest consciousness and the greatest mastery is learned and earned. You have to go through what you're co-creating so that you know that this is my experience. Does it feel good? Yes or no? Where did I come from? Where am I now? What do I want to experience? Where do I want to experience? What do I want to experience? And is it done from a heart-centered space of oneness? I want to connect with people that want to love me and fully and completely and deeply and richly and empower me and encourage me and inspire me and allow me to press out and allow me to press out and allow me to press out and have that equal return of energy. And that's the lessons through love. I'm ready to learn through love right now. I'm ready to express myself and push out in love, unconditional love. And so those are the experiences that we have to go through. That's the minutia of the consciousness. Consciousness cannot speak and say, I'm here now, I want to do this now. And your soul is saying, but you haven't learned the lesson of self-forgiveness. You're going to come back. Your soul will do that. Your higher self will do that. You can say you want to be this self-actualized person. That's great. But your soul is saying you've got, 5 or 6 more lifetimes of clearing that we need to work with, because you can't get here without these lessons. You can't. That's when here, let's just say here, if you say, there are still those lessons of co-creation you need to learn to co-create with responsibility and integrity. You can't be 5D and co-creating from a place that is still lacking in self-acceptance. And that's why Jesus said, in one of my conversations with him, make peace with exactly where you are. Allow everything to be perfect. Allow everything to be perfect. That's God. You're with God right now. You're in your full oneness with God right now. Your source oneness. Make peace with those things that you have come through. Because for me, this ascension, I say now, I've been consciously awake for 15 years, but I have been spiritually, soulfully connected with spirit for my whole life. So when I say consciously awake, that means that day that I awoke, I said, I will take devotion from this moment forward to know everything I can know about who I am and what I exist within and how I can co-create. That's what awakening was for me, 15 years. But I've known my experience with spirit through my whole life. So they're showing me right now, I'm going to go back to the Jesus story, but let me explain this right now because it's important. That as I said to my awakening, because this is going back to the timeline thing. As I had that 15-year accumulated experience to say, this is the point where the rest of my life will be different now because I know I'm more than I was yesterday. As I do this right now, they're showing me right now, I'm also healing my 0 to 51 right now. Does that make sense? Just because I said I'm awake at this point and I'm awake here and everything between this point is my awakening phase, they're saying no. This point right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, your power right now, your love right now, your compassion right now, your oneness right now heals everything from 0 to right now. Does that make sense? So we say that, this is what they're wanting me to ensure because there's people out there that are interested in this and need to know this. When we go through a clearing, let's just say, I'm clearing a childhood experience of being deceived, if you will, and having that lack of trust in others. That experience, thank you, Spirit, that experience, let's say it happened at 3, and at 3, you were told over and over and over again, and you recognized it in your reality that what your parents told you and what society told you was not true. And you got disappointed, and you got let down, you got betrayed, you got abandoned. Whatever those experiences were vibrationally, it doesn't matter because they're all vibrationally healing those wounds. That clearing that you're doing right now because something happened in your life yesterday that triggered back to that healing that needed to occur and be pulled from and say, we're clearing this from your chakras, we're clearing this from your field. Because remember, everything that we experience is right now. Everything that we experience is right now. Right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. It's all now. When you were 5 is right now. When you were 4 is right now. When you were 10 is right now. And all of these wounds, you are clearing right now in this now moment. This now, my allness of forgiveness, my allness of unconditional love, my allness of self-acceptance. I accept myself and everything that I've experienced. I radically accept it. I love it. I honor it because right now it allows me to be fully me. I accept those aspects of me that spoke in harm. I accept those aspects of me through which I acted out of betrayal and ego. I accept it. I forgive it. I honor it. And that's a vibrational feeling, not just saying it, but feeling it. That's how you clear and heal it for all, forever. And it becomes light. It becomes a new vibration of your template that you now step into at a higher vibration. Because remember, you're going to create that new vibration of you tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're going to say, right now, I'm healing what I did yesterday. I'm healing the words that I spoke that were not in honor of me as my sacred body. If you're walking around saying self-deprecating things to yourself. Tomorrow, you're going to have those same vibrational offerings come back to you, and they're coming back faster and faster. That's because our reality is accelerating. Time is being released. You are now healing in light and love and being in your highest consciousness awareness to press out into that new now moment and say, I fully accept myself right now. I'm accepting of oneness right now. I understand. And I'm going to love myself more right now. Right now, I'm the only one that loves me. Right now, I am the one that allows my reality to be what it is. And I choose to love me fully. And I accept myself fully in it. And so thank you, Jesus. And so Jesus was showing me it's that in the making peace with everything, make peace with it. There is the lesson and the blessing of the divine relationship within it. That's how you realize that you are the all. You're all parts of that experience. And as the creators, 12th dimensional creators showed me in that one lifetime that was so very difficult that I was healing, they were showing me that your soul is infinite and vast. Thank you, Spirit. Your soul is infinite and vast. Thank you, creators. Your soul is infinite and vast. And the games that you toss around and you play with one another are to stretch your souls out. And you get to choose consciously in every moment in your awakened state how you want to now co-create and who you're going to call in to co-create that expression of your vastness. And there's everybody that's moving through ascension and why the mass awakenings are what they are is because we're going to be shifting into these new templates and consciousness paradigms. And each of us has to clear 51% of the karma that we've created and been in partnership and co-creating through now and other timelines. And that's why the highest vibration in doing so is through the Christ consciousness, forgiveness, compassion, love, self-acceptance, understanding of one another. That's the bridge of ascension. That's the rainbow bridge, because it does create all light, which is the rainbow bridge. It's light. It penetrates all darkness. It penetrates the them versus us. It penetrates why we thought we had to be and do and behave in ways that we did, because that was in a lack of consciousness that you were all parts of it. So accept it, make peace with it. The sooner you make peace with it, you then see all aspects of it, because you're not resisting anymore. You're not saying that's you, you did that to me, and that's the resistance, that's ego. When you slip into the higher self, you're saying, I'm all aspects of it, and I choose to co-create this way now. Because I get the story, I get the lesson. I've learned the lesson, I've integrated it, I've accepted it, I've been a full part of it, and I choose to see love and compassion stretching me out in compassion, stretching me out in understanding, stretching me out in how to resolve, how to bring ideas to the table, how to co-create in a more benevolent and caring and loving way with all the groups. Everything is teaching you a multi-dimensional fragment and fractal of light. That's what's so amazing. I get so excited about that. And this is what they told me earlier this week, that in the middle and in the crucible of every challenge, and that is the crucible teaching of our divine relationship class and webinars and private sessions. When you get divine relationship and you actually get it, that is the crucible of alchemy. That's when you harmonize that higher self perspective, that higher self, what is that word that you're offering me? Fractal. The fractal of that geometry as your sacred higher self. When you call that in and harmonize with it, when you get it, that's what I say by get it. You're harmonizing that sacred geometry fractal of your higher self. There's an infinite number of fractals of your higher self, if you will. And the more you press out and expand in higher consciousness of light, you get more sacred geometry added to the higher self. That's why you're infinite. When you get it, that center point there that's connecting and calling in through vibration, that other fractal that's linking with you, the ever expression of light, the ever expression of your oversoul, and so on. When you call it in because you raised your vibration, you're linking that sacred geometry. You're then now having access to all that this was. You can't do it overnight. You simply can't. You simply can't. The light difference is so drastic and dramatic. It would cause great harm in every way, multidimensionally, physically, mentally, emotionally, etherically. That's why it's just a sacred journey. Relax, sit back, you're perfect, you belong. But they also, so what Jesus was telling me, the more that you make peace with it, you're allowing the acceptance, you're allowing the honoring of all that is. When you allow the honor of all that is, you're allowing the sacredness of all that is, you're allowing all that is spirit to be all that is, everyone's part to play all that they're meant to play for their unique soul's expression and journey, for what they came to explore, to awaken themselves and their highest consciousness. Has nothing to do with you, because if they choose to awaken and see how they are perceiving their belief systems, their reality, their light, and so on and so forth, whatever their soul's path is, then they have the right to do that, and they have the consciousness to do that. But they don't have to. It's always free will. But this is what what Source was saying, is that there's an infinite number of oneness that you'll be offered, because oneness is oneness. It's all things. And that's why I was given that moment, that glimpse a couple of months ago, of seeing myself as a multiverse being of consciousness. And we were having this conversation at the highest of councils, saying what my role was going to be here, one of the many roles that I was going to be. And there was that exploration of trepidation, because I was leaving what was so very comfortable and so very light and benevolent, and knowing how challenging the earth experience is. And there was much, my devotion for the Holy Mother, my devotion for life, my devotion for the Christ consciousness, my devotion for love and light is why I'm here. And I know that I have many great gifts, and I'm an old soul, and there's so much that I have to offer now that I'm awakening to my higher self fractal, if you will. And I press out and I press up, and they press out and they press up, and it's a constant thread of that pearl threaded through consciousness creations. We're all spiraling these infinite templates of new beginnings and new becomings, if you will. And why the bodies go through so many soul expressions of cleansing and clearing. I just went through a huge cleanse that just broke out with acne everywhere and cold sores. I mean, just releasing such density and darkness and everything that I've picked up, and I've been a sponge for so much darkness and so much density. And oftentimes it's not a pleasant experience. But when you clear it, then you feel like, oh, I feel so much better today. And yeah, your skin looks a bit rough, and yeah, you feel like, I felt like I just ran a marathon kind of thing. But then you build your light back up, and you reach up and for greater codes, and you're feeling more aligned and more attuned with who you are. But that's the minutia, and that's the process. And again, we're healing an infinite number of lifetimes, and we're helping others heal too in our oneness. We can't help others heal if it's still that us versus them and we're separate kind of thing. Standing in your power is different, and owning your power and setting boundaries will allow you to move about in a safe and healthy way so that your light is not being compromised, your light is not being depleted, your bodies are not being depleted, and so on and so forth, and the games that come with these transitional times of transformation and moving, and finding that refined frequency for yourself and calling it in. I call in this new frequency for myself. I call in, feel into the experience that you want to co-create. Your soul and your higher self may say, yeah, but you still got some more lessons to learn. That's okay. You can still drive yourself vibrationally to that new template. You're a master, you can do that. But there will be those lessons and journeys along the way until 51% of your karma is cleared. And you don't have to say where I'm at now kind of thing. That's not why we're saying that. We're saying that every single person comes with an infinite amount. They come with a certain karmic, this is how I've been shown. Each person, each soul comes with a karmic experience, if you will. And now that we're in these awakening times, you can choose to release all karma. You can choose that. However, you as a soul come with a soul blueprint. That soul blueprint says, I am here to offer this as the expression of God, to experience this as the expression of God, our spirit creator. And I'm here to explore myself as the expression of source creator. I'm moving into an expression of my higher self. That's this lifetime of ascension for humanity, for Gaia. In doing so, it's the expression, the exploration, experience of oneness. Oneness within thyself with spirit, oneness within the self of all that is one. Gaia, nature, wildlife, insects, everything. It's all valid, it's all source, it's all honoring sacred life. That's oneness. Living as that, being the vibration of it, offering it, receiving it, being the expression, the living vibration of oneness. And in that, soul blueprint wants so many different experiences to make sure that it's also connected with infinite number of, remember, as you ascend, you are now offering your wisdom and light to those other fractals of you that are still coming up that pearl necklace threaded experience of enlightenment, lightening up and becoming this, where you are now here and you are now calling up your aspects of you on those other vibrations and other timelines and other planets. Because there's planets in our galaxy right now that our souls are connected with, that they're moving through ascension. And so this is the fractal of you saying, if I'm not going to awaken up and pull others up, if you will, pull other aspects of me up because I'm one, then those other fragment aspects get de-evolved as well in stagnancy. And that's what has been happening in the last 50 to 100 years with humanity. And that's why all of the highest heavens and the highest councils were called in for a new plan of ascension, because there was so much de-evolution that not only was us and this planet, but all other planets that our souls are connected with. You see what we're saying? So that your fractal of sacred geometry that you are right here, right now, unseen at this point, but you will see it as you awaken and understand the sacred geometry of Metatron and who we are as the Holy Christ, outside of everything that we've ever written about. I've said that 100 times. You're infinite. There is no box and there is no book that we can wrap who we are around. And that's just the fun that we want to play within. As you are becoming your higher self, you're calling up those fractal essences of you. And it might not be on this planet. There are absolutely aspects of you, your soul, that you walk with on this planet. That's why you feel that connection with them. Like, wow, you're my soul. You're in my soul tribe. You're my soul. Yes, there are aspects of your soul. Your soul is in that person, and why you have that energetic connection with them. Your soul is vast. Again, it's just vast. It's a sacred geometry of vastness, of energy and awesomeness. And every soul will want to create certain bodies, certain experience, certain blueprints, certain lessons, so that all of you, fractal energies of fractal sacred geometry, is coming together and saying, we're all working together, we're all working together, we're all working together. And when certain energies of you are saying, no, I want to stay back here and play in density, then those other aspects are still holding place. And why it's the benefit of everybody to say, hey, are you going to come along? We love you, we honor you, we forgive you. Are you going to come along? We honor you, we love you, forgive you. We honor, we love you, forgive you. We honor, we love you, forgive you. Do you see what we're saying? That's throughout the whole universe, the omnipresence. It's a fractal geometry dance of the sacredness that is source creator, and it's offered in harmonics of sacred geometry, sacred life. So sacred, it's so sacred. So live yourself as oneness. Live yourself as the dance of oneness. Live yourself in the dance that is the harmonic, and know that every minutia that unfolds before you is your opportunity of that sacred, allowing for you to merge and meet with your higher self, your aspect of you. And also, as you do so, you're also calling in that vibrational opportunity and potentiation for all of those other aspects of you that are also looking to you for that higher self guidance. You see what we're saying? You're always playing your higher self in other aspects of you to others and all others as you reflect it. So be oneness. Understand and compassion and forgiveness to everything that you are going through. Make peace with what has been. Forgive it and release it. because your fractal wants to keep going and play and press out and play and press out. And you're going to keep calling in those higher fractals to co-create with and merge with and harmonize with. So too are you calling all aspects of you to come along and play, come along and play in light, come along and play in light. Their aspects and their souls will have their own soul's journey. We're giving it to you in a very fast orientation, but you know what we're saying. Sometimes this is why this lifetime is so profound and so unique. We are healing an infinite number of timelines that each and every one of us come to heal and clear from 3D to 5D. Any life, and this is where this is just mind-boggling, no one can understand it. So don't try and understand it and put this in a package because one can't. The lifetimes that we're healing vibrationally, multidimensionally in this universe. I'm saying multiverse because I know I'm a part of other universes, but you don't have to take that into consideration in what I'm explaining right now because it's a mind bender. Everything that each one person is coming here to clear between 3 and 5D. And I'm going to give another add-on to this. I can do a whole other episode on this, and maybe perhaps I might. From 3 to 5D, 51%. This is just giving you it's very general, if you will. And remember, this is just a generalization. Every soul is different, and every person will take on what they need to and what they want to help clear density in this universe. Because I know once I move to this next state, there will be other things that I will want to clear to help out in the oversoul that I belong to. I know that. I can feel it already in my timeline. Okay, so you don't have to tell me my higher self. I know there's going to be things I'm clearing. It's not over when you get to 5D. It's not. You're continually clearing, and you're continuing to take on through those highest benevolent councils of light with the heavens. You will take on as a soul contract at any point in time. And I've experienced this, and I know this, and I feel it, and I experience this. Is why I'm saying this. Your soul will say, okay, that's cleared and that's done. I've learned the lesson of it. I'm going to take on this now that's threaded to these lifetimes for my oversoul, for my lineage, for my ancestors, for the collective, for my friend over here. I will take this on and I will clear it. Because I know that I have all the wisdom, the information, the tools within me to clear this. And it might be something really hard. It might be something really hard where perhaps you make a decision to leave your family and your loved ones so that you can progress in a way that will assist all others. And you're going to get a lot of backlash. You're going to get a lot of feedback. You're going to get a lot of negativity. You're going to get a lot of, I don't understand. You're going to get a lot of that. Because that's really, really hard. But that is healing 100 things that is linked to for all others. And you know that at the highest self level, you know that. They're not comfortable. And those are those situations where you're constantly going back the minutia of old world, new world, old world, new world. And then when you get to this level, you're like, wow, that wasn't so hard after all. Because you see from this higher self perspective how all others are starting to come along as well. And that's the crucible of that divine relationship. So we want to go back. What were we saying? Oh yeah, the 3 to 5D. This is really mind bending. So you might have to listen to this a couple times because remember, when we offer what we offer, it's the Holy Christ. There's codes, there's energies, your teams, my teams. Everybody's working together through the Holy Christ, through Mother, Father, through Gaia, everything. There's councils of light working with us right now. Thank you, councils of light. Thank you, Holy Creators and the Holy Christ consciousness for allowing us to be this aspect of who we are as the heavens and the earth all together as one in our oneness. Thank you. This is just an example. Again, it's very generalized, very generalized. It is not an absolute because there's more than we have words for that will fit within this explanation of identification, if you will, for you to understand how vast and how mind-boggling this experience is. I can feel it and I can experience it on a multidimensional perspective. And this is why I get so excited about what I offer and what I teach. One body, me as an example, clearing anything from 3D to 5D comes with a soul package of lessons and opportunities on the multidimensional level, physical, mental, emotional, etheric, that my soul has come to resolve and heal and become one with, honor in the oneness. That's the healing process. That's the healing of oneness. That's where that fractal becomes so much light because you get it. You're living in light. You're living in light, not dissension and jealousy and anger and all those things. You live as light and you meet and harmonize and merge with your fractal aspect, that higher perspective. And that's that minutia. Every time you go through a clearing, that's what happens. A fractal particle of you merges with this. Fractal part of you merges with this. Your soul fragments, particles, whatever you want to call it. Definitions and words don't matter. It's a vibration. That's what's occurring. 3 to 5D. That 3 to 5D is coming with those particular wounds. We call it psyche in this realm right now because that's the only words we have to explain. However, the psyche in and of itself might not be called that. The wounds that it experienced on, say, Sirius in a 4th dimensional experience through Sirius. I'm just giving that as a generalization because we don't have the words to explain what I'm talking about. So 3 to 5D, that 51% of karma is the encompassment of all 3 to 5D experiences of you, the soul of you, threading those experiences in the body that you've come as the co-creation as, so that your body, the actualization of your matter through spirit, has said, this earthly lifetime is dealing with these collective issues. This soul's experience will manifest the clearing through the collective to assist with the collective's healing. Remember that sacred triad, your healing and your clearing, not only for you from 3 to 5D, but the collective, the oversoul, the all of Gaia. Our collective oversoul, as the humanity collective, also has an oversoul, and an oversoul through which our higher selves are connected. That's why our higher selves are always linking and threading those that want to merge and harmonize with us on new templates of co-creation, pressing out templates of ascension for consciousness. It's mind-boggling. It's totally mind-boggling. It's incredible. It's just, again, there's no words. You know, how do you explain that? So what we're saying is that the peace that we make within it, remember, that peace allows that flow of energy and that light, making peace with it, honoring it, alchemizing it, is the opening, the accepting, and the allowing that we are one within the all aspects. I love that aspect of me in Sirius that's going through something right now, and I'm sending love and compassion to me in it. And in doing so, I'm also calling in someone that's also reflecting that same lesson to me, so that I can know my oneness and my allness, and I'm actually threading this love and compassion to the all that I am. It doesn't matter what side of that allness that you're on. Whether you're on the side of going through something really challenging and hard and you can't understand why you've attracted what you've attracted, you can say, am I allowing myself the oneness to know that I am worthy, and I am so blessed to see something and experience something so hard that I absolutely know my worthiness to create something different. Doesn't matter what side of that oneness you want to create it from. You will be clearing the karma within that 51% that attaches to 5 or 6 other timelines. It's also attached to the oversoul of other people on earth that you're healing and clearing it from. So much of a master you are. We don't have words. There's no words. I mean, I've expressed it in this is getting way too long, so we're going to wrap it up. I've expressed it in the words and the ways that we have, but when you're living as a multidimensional higher self, you understand the threading that you are within the all. You understand it, you can feel it. You can feel when someone's going through pain, and you offer that compassion and love and oneness. And then as the master that you are, also standing within that balanced perspective, because you have to maintain balance. To maintain balance means that, okay, well, I have to say when I'm giving too much. I have to say when I've taken, energies that are just not mine. When I've been placed in situations that are not of my highest integrity, I'm saying when now. I've learned the lesson. I don't want to do that anymore. That's the learning of the higher self and mastery of sovereignty. Because again, as we press out to greater fields of play, you're going to be pressing out to greater fields of play. You're going to need that mastery to say no. So that's where it's really important to know your own energy field, know what's yours, know what you're ready to say yes and no to. You get that sovereignty, you get that choice. You get to live within your integrity to say, my vibrational is truth. When you start living from that way, you start attracting more of those experiences that are more of higher truth. And you get to see the minutiae of it all. You get to feel the infinite threading of the minutiae of how it's all meant for the collective, and what it's meant for the collective and your children. Everything that you're going through, you are connecting at a vibration that says, I want to clear this for my children. This has been such a great passion of mine, and why sometimes those soul decisions that we create, and in an old world reality, in an old world pattern, an old world conditioning, an old world, traditions, might seem, in a perspective of someone that's living it from this perspective, might say, well, you moving in this way is not honoring this perspective. And this part of, the higher self is saying, but that when you make this choice, they're going to come along with you. That you're preparing that field for them. And that in making this one choice might be uncomfortable for others to see, but they absolutely know that they're going to receive their equal opportunity to light and advancement and consciousness as you do that. Staying in stagnation and compromising your light to satisfy traditions and patterns and conditioning is not evolution. And your soul is waiting there for you until you make that conscious choice to say, yeah, they're going to come in their right time, in their right space, and I'm creating light for all others that I'm connected with, and all of these other light fractals that are offered through that choice that you made to live in your highest truth. To know that truth is truth. Your soul's truth is your soul's truth, and you will be asked to move on it in whatever way your soul needs you to learn. That's why when I said earlier, my soul was preparing me, about a year ago. No, actually, I'll go into a separate video of this because it's a minutia that will take some time to understand. When you've reached a point of awareness and awakening and enlightenment, your soul in the highest councils of light, depending on what you're here to co-create, your soul and the agreements and all of the councils that you belong with are co-creating the ever expansive and pressing out. And I'm saying this only from my unique perspective. As the awakened consciousness that you are as light, you have the capacity to continue your infinite pressing out. And I know that. That's a truth of mine. In this truth, I have knowing it and clearing that karma, if you will, I am now at a new stage of co-creation with Source Creator and my teams and Source Creator and all the oversouls that I connect with. The passions, the expressions, the experiences of who I am now get to say, I want to add a few things to my new soul contract. My new soul contract in which I want to explore this, this, and this. But I also want to be a part of clearing this, this, and this, because I know I can feel it in the collective. I can be a part of great clearing. I can be a part of great advancement. I can be a part of great enhancement, whatever it might be at a soul level. My soul is telling me that vibrationally. My vibrational physical self is saying, okay, I know you've made that agreement. I'm a part of it. I get it. I'm one with my higher self. I'm one with my soul. I'm one with the all collective. I'm one with Gaia. I'm one with the creative collective. I understand all of it. I want to do all that I can and be of service to the Holy Mother, the Holy Father in evolutionary light programs. I get all of that. I feel it. I know it. I sense it. So my soul is saying, okay, are you ready? Because part of that lesson is going to call in an opportunity for you to choose and do something really challenging. And in that challenging choice, for you as a soul to follow your soul's journey, there's going to be these things that are attached to that clearing. Can you do that? And that's the blessing of creation, with you in those moments to say, the path is not ever going to be, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's going to be a challenge. Then there's going to be great opening and great celebration and great embarkment on that new vibrational platform through which all that density was cleared. See what we're saying? Your soul is so vast and profound, and you're calling in those soul threads of density to say, I can clear this. I understand it at a multidimensional level. I understand it. I'm clearing it for a collective of divine feminine, of tribals that have been, suppressed and disenfranchised, whatever it might be. I get it because I can feel it vibrationally and why I'm saying what I'm saying in the words that we have to offer it in. But this is where the pressing out of your soul, when we reach this what's that word? A threshold. When we reach that threshold, we get to press out and you get to co-create through your expression, your exploration, your excitement to be who you are, joy of being who you are, the gift of who you are, source, the gift who you are as creation. You get to now co-create a new soul contract. And you will feel it vibrationally on things that you're feeling attracted to and moving vibrationally through. And why you need to always renew back to yourself and create that constant, who am I? What is my truth? So that you're not fettered and wavered by others around you. No, you absolutely know that you have a soul mission. You absolutely know that you have a soul destiny and a purpose. And that soul truth is connected with everything that you renew yourself as. And that's a part of every master's path will have to learn, your own level of soul your soul's level of mastery, right? You want to be the master of your own ship. You want to be able to say, no, I created this. This is my work. This is my energy. This is my vibration. This is what I have done. This has been in my truth. This is whatever it is that your soul is a part of healing and clearing for the collective. And every time you are here in that now moment, you get to heal it for everybody, right? You get to heal it because you're standing in your truth. When you stand in your truth and honor yourself as the Christ, honor yourself as your truth of light, honor yourself truth as a vibration, you heal it for an infinite number of energies that you're connected and linked with, for Gaia. You have no idea. It's so profound, so amazing. I could go on for hours and hours and hours. I'm so sorry. These are so long. I send you great love. I send you great oneness. Know that we are always love and we are always with you. We are always allowing ourselves to see in one another what we need to see and what we need to understand and what we need to allow ourselves to accept and make peace with, and honor in one another, the blessing of one another, the blessing of our oneness, the majesty of our oneness, and how we're able to press out in an infinite number of ways. And we love you and we honor you. You are valued and you belong. And we love you so much. Bye. Go be shiny.